Now let's move on to circular motion. What is circular motion? A particular motion when an object circulate around particular axis which is not go through the considered object. That is called circular motion. Now we can consider an object circulate on a vertical circular path we can consider this instance. So we know that when an object follows circular path, there should be centripetal acceleration. So in order to find centripetal acceleration, take r omega square or v square divided by r. So which means there should be centripetal force as well. But the main important thing is there is no original force as centripetal, which means the centripetal force, the required centripetal force is given by gravitational acceleration, gravitational force. Then normal reaction, then what else? Friction. So those are the cases which give the required centripetal force. So therefore you are not allowed to mark the centripetal force as a new force. So here there is tension, this is alpha. So then what happens? Let's consider this angle as alpha. So then what happens? You may have to consider the unbalanced force towards center because we are looking for applying F equals ma. So F is T minus mg cos alpha equals mv square divided by L. Let's take the length of string as L. So the standard equation becomes mv square divided by L plus mg cos alpha. So when considering point A, which is at the bottom, point B, and finally point C, what happens? TA should be the maximum while TC being minimum, because when object is at point A, alpha becomes 0, cos alpha 1, TA equals mv square divided by L plus mg. When considering TB, alpha becomes 90, the whole part getting 0, the remainder is mv square divided by L. How would you find TC? The minimum value. So alpha becomes 180, cos 180, that is minus 1. So mv square divided by L minus mg, that is the minimum. That minimum value, when that minimum value be equal to 0, what happens? mv square divided by L should be equal to mg, which means v square equals gl. This gives you the minimum speed in order to continue the vertical circular path. This is the minimum speed. So when an object tries to follow vertical path. If the velocity is less than root GL, it can't proceed. Now we can consider the minimum velocity need to be given when the object is at bottom in order to complete circular path. So here you may have to consider the velocity at the top as root GL. Then you can consider the potential energy zero level which goes through the bottom. So applying conservation of energy, kinetic energy plus potential energy at point A should be equal to kinetic energy plus potential energy at point B. So kinetic energy at point A, half mv naught square, but there is no potential. When considering point B, half mgl plus mg2l. Main important thing is height should be 2l. Altogether 5 divided by 2 mgl, which equals to half mv naught square. Cancel, half cancel, v naught equals root 5gl. That is the minimum speed should be given at the bottom in order to complete circular path. Now we can consider conical pendulum. What is meant by conical pendulum? Which means an object follows a horizontal circular path with uniform speed. The shape of the string acts as a cone. So this is R, this is the string, this can be taken as alpha, this should also be alpha, this is the tension in the string. So as I mentioned earlier, you can't take the acting forces as 3. So there should be 2, one is tension, the other one is weight. You can't take the extra force or third force as centripetal. So here the centripetal force is given by the component of tension. Now we can apply F equals ma towards center. So T sine alpha equals mv square divided by r. And we can consider the equilibrium along vertical axis. Therefore T cos alpha equals mg. So then 1/2 tt cot tan alpha equals v square divided by rg, which means v square equals rg tan alpha. So you can conclude that when you speed up, what happens? Angle increases, but you can't take the angle, or you can't make that angle as 90 because tan 90 is infinity, which means velocity should be infinity in order to make the alpha as 90. Now we can consider a vehicle follows an inclined bend, inclined bend. So this is mg. These should be R1 and R2. This should be alpha. So first of all, you may have to consider F equals ma towards center. So that centripetal force is given by the component of normal reaction like R1 plus R2 sine alpha, which is equal to mv square divided by R. Now we have to consider the equilibrium along y-axis, that is R1 plus R2 into cos alpha equals mg. This is first, this is second. Take the ratio of 1 and 2, tan alpha equals v square divided by Rg, v square divided by Rg. So finally we have to consider a frictious surface, which means if there is no such inclination, there should be friction. So here what happens, there should be a particular friction just like this. This is R1 and R2. So the speed is along the track as V. So we know that the friction gives us the centripetal force. So F equals mu R1 plus R2, which is equal to mv square divided by R, and considering the equilibrium, R1 plus R2 is equal mg. This is first, this is second. Take the ratio, and mu equals v square divided by Rg, or v square equals mu Rg. Finally, we need to consider the circular motion of satellite. So this is simple M, this is capital M. The required force is given by gravitational force. So that force can be taken from G m1 m2 divided by R square. This is the radius of the orbit. So now we can apply F equals ma. F is G m1 m2 divided by R square. So since the tangential velocity as v, mv square divided by mv square, so you can take this as capital M and simple M. So then what happens, v equals root gm divided by R. Now we can consider omega as well, because omega equals v divided by R. Therefore omega should be gm divided by R cube. Now we can consider the time period as t equals 2 pi divided by omega. So then omega R cube divided by gm, then take the root, the square of both sides, 4 pi square R cube divided by gm, which means t square directly proportional to R cube. That's all.